Burning Crusade and Wrath Legacy servers, possibly in WoW's future. Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay. I wonder if they're going to say the exact same thing that I said that was fucking obvious. Now, if I had to guess, I would say, yeah, probably.
Hey everyone, last week during my trip to Irvine, California, I had a chance to sit down with Hazzikostas and Kel'Thuzad and ask them questions about classic WoW. The footage I'm going to show you is the result of the interview. I started off with a few icebreaker questions, and then I got into a few more
Jesse
specific
Cox?
questions. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the interview.
Alright. Oh, whoa, that's Starfang, look at him. What's your role and name in the company? Okay.
Okay, so I'm Kel'Thuzad, and I'm a senior producer on the World of Warcraft team.
So my name is Hazzikostas. I'm game director of World of Warcraft, and kind of been sort of overseeing some of the design calls for WoW Classic in particular.
Okay. What class do you currently play? That's important. Okay.
So I currently play BFA, and I'm playing Classic now with our special Classic Alpha. I'm playing at the moment a Hunter, an Orc Hunter.
Okay.
I like the...
For the
I
Horde.
didn't play Classic originally, so learning about pet happiness and training pets and making sure all of that stuff works has been interesting to me.
Wow, look at that. Somebody that never played Classic WoW comes back and they think the features that were removed actually are interesting. That's crazy, isn't it? Wow.
So I've been playing the same Orc Shaman that I made in November 2004 since then.
Wow.
So it's been quite a journey. Obviously, various alts along the way. I've dabbled in both factions, but I think for Classic, we'll probably be recreating pretty much that same character.
Classic Dungeon. They better say BRD.
I don't have a favorite. I can't pick a favorite.
Okay.
What would you say?
BRD.
Okay, so
Skullmons.
it's also possible. So raids. So dungeons. I'm going to say Stratholme. Both the live side, dead side split.
Okay.
The
Okay.
sheer challenge.
That's fine.
And massive.
I'm not mad.
Of the whole thing. Also the callback to Warcraft 3 when you saw it. You saw it being culled. Some little references to pieces of the city that you saw there. But I mean, early on, people would refuse to go in with fewer than 10 to what was theoretically a 5-player dungeon because it seemed so daunting.
Yeah, of course.
That was like an awesome
the audio is
concept
bad on the interview.
On the raid
I turned it up a
side,
tiny bit.
Again, I'm going to cheat and pick two things. In terms of experience and memories, Molten Core. My first Ragnaros kill, no matter how many raid bosses I've killed since then, nothing was quite that impactful in terms of the holy crap, I can't believe we just did this. Like, my guild...
Dude, I cannot wait to kill Ragnaros on Classic, man.
We're a real raid guild now, I guess. And then in terms of sort of the quality of the experience, Naxxramas. I think that was, kind of the beginning, I would say, of modern raiding in WoW in a lot of ways. The fact the mechanics from that raid still held up in Wrath of the Lich King. A few years later is a testament to how ahead of its time it was.
Yeah. Favorite in-game music track? Okay.
I just really enjoy it all. I find that it just inspires me. It brings back so much nostalgia, even though I didn't play Classic originally. Like, I've always heard similar themes.
Okay, she likes all of them.
I don't have a favorite. It's hard to pick.
It's hard, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to say the relatively intense Shadowfang Keep music that was reused in Molten Core as you're going towards Magmadar for the first time.
Look at this! Look how fucking specific that was. She's like, yeah, I don't really know. And like Ian's like, yo, so like there was this music that was used in this old dungeon, and then they put it in Molten Core. Like that was the best, right?
Sin.
Okay.
It's like, all right, something intense is going down right now. The runner-up would be Ashenvale.
Oh,
And
Ashenvale.
The first time, and just
okay. Old school.
Soothing, peaceful, tranquil notes. It was so utterly different from
Yeah.
anything you'd seen before as an explorer.
That's good. The reaction internally over the Classic
For me,
project
it was just
confirmed.
so exciting because I had joined the team already when there were a few engineers on the team, so I already knew who some of the key people were going to be. And for me, that was a project manager's dream, to get to work with these iconic people who had both the technical acumen and the absolute passion to recreate this enormous project. So for me, that is a dream project, something that I'll remember for my whole career. So I remember exactly where I was. I was at work. I was at my desk. And I had a talk with some of our senior production staff where they asked me would I be interested in joining the team. And I mean, like, you can't even, I was just so excited. I was like, thank you for thinking of me. And then I got to meet Brian and Omar, were the two people I got to meet.
Those are like two of the main classic devs.
It's been a dream ever since.
This is a tricky question for me because there isn't really a moment. It was more of a year-long journey of sort of making it happen. Of, exploring the logistics and convincing skeptics and providing a clear path forward.
Skeptics?
We always wanted to do
You mean haters?
Really, something we wanted to do for years and years, but didn't see a clear way to make it happen given the massive logistical constraints of hey, we have this really old piece of software that was made to run on 15-year-old hardware that wouldn't run on modern hardware.
Good enough.
Full of bugs, full of exploits, and it was literally
sounds great.
Tens and tens of thousands of hours.
Are they talking about BFA?
Had gone into, updating it over the course of making the game into what it is today. There's no way to just quickly recreate that. And then I think, large community outcry and seeing the passion of the community around the desire for this project, I think galvanized our resolve internally to try to find a way to make it work.
Obviously.
And I think we explored different avenues, and once we settled on this approach with some prototyping of, hey, what if we instead of trying to recreate the tens of thousands of hours of engineering effort, took the modern client that worked and the modern server architecture that we knew was stable and solid, and just taught it to speak the old data and reconstructed the systems. And once we had that path, I think it was, it was a few weeks of engineering prototyping time, seeing what came out of it, and realizing, hey, we can do this. And then
you guys might be laughing. I don't want to pause too many times right here, but like you guys might be laughing. All was just stable. Like, you guys remember back in Classic, servers would die all the time? They died so many fucking times that Blizzard had to give people free game time because the servers were so bad. Like, I remember I have how many like 1 and 3 day credits for you guys that played vanilla WoW. All of you guys have all of these 1 and 3 day credits because, you know what, servers fucked up again. And no, it's fine. Servers are better now than they were.
In helping interview and select the folks that will make up the team. And then all of that leading up to the big announcement at BlizzCon. Like, we announced Classic uncharacteristically early for a Blizzard project at BlizzCon.
Just to get people to shut the fuck up.
We were so excited that we wanted to share it with the world.
Just get them to shut up.
We're going to get asked about, hey, so Classic WoW, what are you doing?
Yeah, see? Look.
We didn't want to be cagey or to lie because we knew we were making it. We knew it was ridiculously early. We had nothing to show in November of 2017, but we just wanted to let the world know, hey, this is going to be real. And that was the beginning of the journey that's led us to today and leading us to August 27th this summer.
WoW Classic Community Impact Decision. This is where he's going to talk about me. He's going to talk about me here.
I would say a lot. I've learned a lot because I didn't play Classic originally, as I mentioned, and I had to learn a lot to come up to speed to, stand up with this enormous team that has been helping to develop this game. So I have really studied the community a lot. I did a lot of research.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
What I like about our community is
very sorry to hear that.
And the fact that they are so vocal, because it really helped me come up to speed on where the issues were and what are the main touch points that we have to focus on in order to make this the most authentic Classic experience. So it's been very helpful.
Yeah, I think exactly that. I think,
of course,
one of the things about working on this project from a design perspective is that so many of the calls are just objective and clear cut. The answer is, well, we're going to do it like it was back then. Then there is this subjective middle ground where there are different versions of a thing, or we have to make some tweak or some change. And there, having the community there to bounce our own instincts off of and to get feedback and to understand what's going to increase enjoyment or excitement, what's going to cause concern and frustration.
Of course.
To help guide us in our decisions. I think that's been just incredibly valuable throughout the entire development process.
I would hope so. Yeah, good.
Part of what we wanted to get our BlizzCon demo last fall into being a take-home experience so more people around the world could experience it and let us know and give us some early thoughts.
That was actually really good. I love the Classic demo. I can't believe that happened so long ago.
Jarring elements. What are some things that disappointed you so we can do better, so we can make it the thing that everyone wants and that really our players deserve.
Have you gotten good feedback from the internal employees? Okay, well, I'd hope so.
I'm excited about it, which is so encouraging for me to see, even in the, in our Blizzard Entertainment. I'm trying to think of things that people have called out specifically, I can't remember offhand. But we listen to all the feedback. I can assure you, from the community, from internal employees, we listen to everything.
That does seem to be true. Like, real talk, that seems to be true.
And also just people basking in nostalgia, right? Like, I mean, I think when we put up the employee alpha, I want to say after the first long weekend, there were people who were already level 40. No, exactly, right? It was one of
Damn, no wonder the bugs in BFA never get fixed. They're playing Classic the whole time. God damn, man. Well, this explains everything. This is why BFA is taking so long for them to figure everything out and get it fixed, is everybody at Blizzard's been playing Classic. Wow, okay. Everything makes sense now.
Like, wait a minute.
Can you blame them?
No. It's in 2 months, right? But it just sparked a ton of conversation, right? There's so many memories. It's something that, the stories of many, if not most, of the people who work at Blizzard today pass through this game in some form.
That's a big truth.
So it's just a powerful thing that we are all, cannot be more excited to revisit.
Length and release schedule for phases. Oh yeah, okay. All right, this is the meat and potatoes.
So try to keep it a bit flexible. I think if you were going to ask me to just ballpark a random number, I would say for the first couple, probably around a couple of months. Part of it is we don't want people to feel ridiculously pressured to power level if they want to participate in the next steps.
That's good.
But it's something where we also don't want
to have
a rigid schedule ahead of time, because we want to remain flexible, looking at how the community is advancing. And if people aren't, people are still working their way through Blackwing Lair and Zul'Gurub, and only a handful of guilds feel like, okay, they've defeated Nefarian, and even then they still have tons and tons of gear that they want. We don't want to rush Encourage out and kind of undercut the experience if most players
I did hit big.
So I think I would say probably phase 1 to 2 would be one of the faster progressions, because I think we want to get
that makes sense.
Dharma out there, the beginning is the PvP system, a couple of world bosses.
Makes sense.
And then beyond that, it's going to just be watching how players are dealing with the content.
So there's going to be a new phase every week, because people are going to all clear the raids in the first week. Do you foresee eSports potential?
None so far. Genuinely, I think, as with anything, we'll see if there's interest in some elite dueling circuit in the long run. But I mean, I think, as with everything, I'd love to see what the community comes up with. I mean, really, the origins, the origins of esports themselves are a funny thing. It's one of the most community-sourced endeavors generally. Step 1 is make a game that has some kind of competitive element to it. And step 2, people will figure out.
This always happens whenever I get my headphones too.
And so,
sorry about that.
It's
my fault.
A natural outgrowth of that. If we see players organizing dueling tournaments and 2v2 tournaments and 3v3 tournaments in Gurubashi, and there's tons of people tuning in, it's something we'd love to support as a scene philosophically. But again, I think when it comes to the classic experience as a whole, we also really want to respect the purity of that experience, and be more supporting something that grew out of it rather than ever in any way
this is fucking awesome. Like,
experience to just serve some modern purpose.
So I want to just comment on that real quick. That's fucking amazing. Like, everybody, like that's the best thing that we could ever hear, because everybody wants to have, like, Blizzard saying that they will support things that draw an audience opens up a huge window for every other type of thing that people could think of, right? And I think that, I think the best example of this is the World First race. Like, Blizzard is supporting that now, and it's fucking great. So I'm very happy about this, actually.
For now, we're so focused on recreating this authentic experience for WoW Classic, but as Ian says, we're always open to community feedback. Let's see what happens after this comes out. We're interested in what the community says.
More stat questions in retail to give it a more classic feel. Yeah, I hope so. Say yes.
I mean, I think we're always keeping an eye on how numbers and power grow there, but I think any decisions we make.
Okay, they're keeping an eye on it, which means that nothing's going to happen. We're keeping an eye on it. Like, that's a term that Ian uses. Like, whenever he says we're keeping an eye on it, that means we actually haven't been looking at that at all. And we don't have an answer for you right now because we haven't been thinking about it at all, but we're keeping an eye on it. Okay, like that's basically what it means.
For Battle for Azeroth or World of Warcraft going forward are going to be more based on what makes sense for the players of that, and less about crossing over between the two.
Okay.
But I think certainly, as all of us have dove back into the classic alpha internally and are getting back into those systems, there are definitely some lessons to learn about pacing, about differentiation within classes and specializations that I think are fascinating. Definitely can inform our design. But any decisions that we make for Battle for Azeroth are going to be with the BFA folks.
BFA for checking out this video, guys. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to let me know what you think about it in the comments below.
There we go. Which expansion? A few days later, Blizzard interviewed, or Forbes interviewed Blizzard President J. Allen Brack and received a similar reply, which indicates that this has been a topic of discussion among Blizzard management. Brack elaborated further on the potential for Burning Crusade and Wrath servers, indicating that it may be worth pursuing if Classic is very popular and the interest among fans is there. Do you feel like, do you have a feel for how big you expect WoW Classic to be as a sustainable experiment? Do you expect this project to be on the level of other IP variations within the company, or is this a one-off love letter to those fans that were assiduously trying to preserve history? That's a great question, and I honestly have no way to answer it. Okay, great. Because there's not a realistic or reasonable way that anyone has done that I have found to any sort of size. What is this thing? How many people are actually going to play it? That's a big, yeah, that's true. I think there's going to be a lot of interest on day one, and then what's that level sustained 30 days after interest? You think you do, but you don't. Hey, he's not wrong either. The answer is I don't know. If it's wildly successful and there are huge numbers of people who are in it and are interested and it becomes this call for the next thing, I think that it could be something that we could talk about then. We certainly now have the ability to do it in a way that we never did before. It's something that has now become possible. Whether or not we do it, I think that'll really depend on the fans' interest and the fans' reaction. So there's an opportunity for, if folks wanted it, the vanilla server, the Burning Crusade server, the Wrath server, and it just says yes. I don't want to trivialize the amount of work that's required to do that or the amount of time. It's not something that we can just dial up and dial down at any moment. But assuming a wildly successful classic, we'll see what the future brings. Okay. Okay, hey, I mean, I'm happy, man. That's amazing. Fuck yes. A WoD server. Yeah, that's obviously what everybody wanted.